So I can't really believe that we are already in early August. So let's do the Lexington market update for July 2020. Hi everybody, it's Marcus Collins of the MA Properties Online team. As I said, first of the month, so it's time to do the market update. Now we're going to do it for July 2020 for the town of Lexington. So let's take a look at the numbers first of all. So as ever, I produce this report which gives you what happened in July, but I thought it was interesting this month to take a look at what's happened year to date, because there's an interesting story between year to date and what happened in July. So year to date first. The number of listings, which is, if you've listened to us before, you'll know this is the metric that we're following closely to see how the real estate market is going to weather this COVID pandemic. So 2020, we've had 308 listings year to date. 2019, this time we had 313. So we're about at parity with the number of listings, 2020 versus 2019. In terms of the number of properties that were sold, 185 this year versus 171 last year. So that's about an 8% increase in number of properties that have sold this year versus sold last year. Year-to-date days on the market, 2020 we're at 55, 2019 we're at 46. So we've seen a slight uptick in the number of days on the market. Slight weakening perhaps of the market in that case. Sell price to list price ratio, which is a key metric in terms of buyer confidence. 2020 we were at 99%, 2019 we're at 101, so a slight decrease in terms of the number of, the sell price to list price ratio. Average sale price, everybody focuses on this one, of course. 2020 we're at 1.4 is the average. The 2019, the average this time of the year was at 1.33. So that's a slight increase in the average sale price. I'll have more to say about that in a moment. But given those numbers, it's interesting to compare year to date with what happened in July. And I'm going to focus on two things, first of all. First of all, it's the days on the market. As you can see, we're at 37 days on the market for those properties that closed in July, versus 55 for year to date. Now, some of that's clearly caused by the slowdown in the kind of middle of the first half, but also I think it's indicative of a very strong market, certainly in the last 4 to 6 weeks. We've had properties come on the market, 20 plus offers on them. So very strong market in June and July. Less so clearly for the rest of the year. Interesting to kind of see how that pans out for the rest of the year. So first of all, days on the market, 37 for July versus 55 for the year to date. That sell price to list price ratio, 99% for year to date, 101% for those properties which closed in July. So slightly higher for July, again, because of that strong market over the last 6 to 8 weeks. That we've seen. I said I'd focus on the sell price average sale price, and I want to look at the sell price distribution 2019 versus 2020. Blue is 2019, orange is 2020. As you can see, the number of homes that came on the market below 1 million, about at parity with 2019, slightly less in that 1 to 1.5 million, but a large number more in the 1.5 to 2 million, as well as a large number in the 2.5 to 3 and the 3 plus. And that's the reason I think that we've seen that increase, that 5% increase in the average sale price. So the average sale price for 2020 was at 1.4. The average sale price for 2019 in the first 7 months of the year was 1.33, which is about a 5% increase. Similar for the median. I looked at the median to see if we could see any of that distribution in it. Not really. We're at 1.28 for the median for 2020, 1.23 for 2019. That's about a 6% difference. So we can attribute some of that 5% to the shift in distribution. Some of it, though, because that kind of push in prices, specifically what we've seen in the last 6 to 8 weeks, is causing that. In terms of the number of listings, I mentioned we were almost at parity, and you can see this in the data. Again, blue is 2019, orange is 2020. You can see that we have in May and in June, we had about parity with last year. July, we saw more, about 15 homes more came on the market in July 2020 versus July 2019. So we're about at parity, and you can see that with the cumulative graph, where here we are at the end of July, and we've just about caught up. You can see the gap that we saw there between 2020 and 2019 because of COVID. We've actually made that up by this time of the year. So in terms of what we're seeing in terms of the projections for 2020, now we've got parity. I don't see that many more homes coming on the market in 2020 versus 2019. Just done a quick live stream really about should you bring your home on the market in 2020 versus 2021. Danny and I did another live stream last week. A lot of interesting information in there. Essentially, should you bring your home on the market this year versus should you wait till 2021? Without giving away, all the secrets, you should watch the videos. But there's a lot of uncertainty with 2021. Political, economic. Are we going to see a vaccine? So lots of uncertainty in 2021. That's almost a certainty. And we've seen a very buoyant market for the last 2 months. And it looks like that might continue into September. So if you have the option, I think our recommendation today would be that come on the market in the fall if you can. If it doesn't make sense, clearly it doesn't make sense to do that. But if you're on the fence about 2021 versus 2020, right now the recommendation would be think about 2020 if you're ready to come on the market. So kind of wrapping up the numbers, if you will. Our predictions, much as we've been saying all along that we would see an increase in the number of listings in that May, June and July, and currently we're only 3 listings behind where we were in 2019. But I see a slight softening in the market. Certainly the last 6 weeks we've not seen that, but let's kind of take a bigger picture, which is normally what I do. We've got inventory at parity with 2019, but we did anticipate much more homes coming on the market in 2020 with the economic uncertainty. Now we've had economic uncertainty, we've also had political and of course COVID, so a lot of uncertainty there, and so we've got potentially that kind of 2021 lots more homes that potentially will come on the market in that time frame. Days on the market increased to 55. Quite a high number, and that sale price to risk ratio decreased to 99 from 101 last year. And as for that increase in sale price, I attributed some of it specifically to the last 4, 6, 8 weeks, probably June and July, and some of it to a shift in the distribution as more expensive homes sold, so skewing their average and the median. So that's kind of the big picture, if you will, for July 2020. That was a bit of a teaser, really, because August the 4th, we have a much more in-depth look at the stats for Lexington. August the 5th, an in-depth look for Arlington. We record all of these, so if you can't make those dates or you're looking at this after those dates, please look at our YouTube channel. You will see a recording of those seminars. We're going to look at current market conditions in a lot more detail. Get our predictions out for 2020 and 2021, giving you a kind of hint here. There's more detail we'll go in our virtual seminar. What does selling in 2020 look like? What does buying in 2020 look like? It's kind of an interesting story, the juxtaposition of those two. And what does that virtual buying and selling process entail? That's interesting because it is different than it was this time last year. Lots has changed in terms of the marketing that we're doing, in terms of how people can actually get in to see your home. So there's lots of things to discuss in terms of virtual buying and selling. So that's August the 4th for Lexington, August the 5th for Arlington. It's all recorded on Facebook, on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you missed the live stream, please go back, take a look if you have any interest about what's going on in the market, both today and what our predictions will be for 2021. So lots of details there. So With that, I will say thank you. That was the Lexington market update for July 2020. Bye.